guys, it's Pandrew here, and welcome to PanHoltProductions. Today we'll be doing a video review of The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. So I hope you enjoy, because it's our first video. Have a good laugh. Anyways, you start off Skyrim as a prisoner on death row, and you get to customize your character before you actually find out that they're going to execute you. You can choose one of the 9 races, and customize your character as a female or a male, and you know, whether you want a big nose or small nose, big mouth, small mouth, I don't know, let you decide. Anyways, what happens is after that, they're about to chop your head off, but one of the Stormcloak soldiers feels a bit brave, so he, says doesn't have all the time in the world, and he gets his head chopped off first. Anyways, you walk up to the box and, have a look at the executioner, whatnot, and you're about to get your head chopped off, but then you hear the sound of a dragon, and I guess that's what Skyrim's all about, the dragons. Anyways, just before, you're gonna go and visit the graveyard, the dragon attacks, and all hell breaks loose. Afterwards, you run into the Tower Keep with both Imperial and Stormcloak, the 2 warring civil factions within Skyrim. One representing very much the Roman Empire, while the other one is a very Norse-influenced type of countryman, known as the Nords. The game puts you at a crossroads where you choose either between the Stormcloaks or the Imperials. Further along the track, you bump into a lot of warring factions within the world of Skyrim. Mainly, as I talked about before, the Imperials versus the Stormcloaks. The Stormcloaks being the rebels who want independence, while the Imperials are the dominating factor within all of Skyrim. Within Skyrim, you find that you can change your character in many, many different ways. Firstly, the thing that comes to mind would be the type of factions you can join as your character progresses in different schools of combat, whether it be archery, sneak attacks, or whatnot. That'd be linked to the Thieves Guild, or if you're more a magic user, you can go to the College of Winterhold to learn about the different spells and what they have to offer. Or you can just go straight up brute force with your swords and your shields and whatnot, and join the companions. Anyways, even further along the track, speech options themselves have an effect directly on the type of person you become, whether you choose to intimidate, persuade, or just pay off people to get what you want.
Are you telling me how to treat my workers? Do you have any idea how much metal the Silverblood family wants us to smelt? All right. You sound like a damn Legion officer, but I get it. I'll give him a break. This better not hurt our quota. Fight well.
In Skyrim, transitioning between first person and third person is done really well. You can play from far away or up close, whichever way complements your playstyle. Tied in with really awesome finishing moves with head chopping, throat slashing, and sneak attacks, there is a wide range of moves that you can pull off depending on your playstyle. So anyways, let's get more into the combat. You have your melee, you have your magic, you have your ranged, and finally you have your shouts. Let's start with melee. So while melee in Skyrim isn't that great due to its non-precise and non-impactful feeling when you strike an opponent, when you strike an enemy you see heaps of blood, but I think sometimes it's not justified, as most of the characters don't actually end up wounded, they just lose blood. You might hear really gruesome grunts and attacks coming from both player and NPC, but you don't really notice the aesthetic value, if you can call it that. As unappealing as melee combat may sound right now, there still are a few things that bring it back up to the same level as, say, shooting an arrow or casting a spell. From sneaky rogue attacks to dragon slaying, all these are put on slow motion cinematic clips, which really brings out the gruesome nature of Skyrim combat. On the other hand though, as magic, now you can dual cast, which adds a whole new level to your spells, whereas instead of having 2 flame spells, you can have 1 flame ball, which may stagger the opponent if you put points into it. Anyways, let's move on to archery. Instead of just running around and creating that distance as an archer, you can just go and push them away. It adds a whole new dynamic factor to being an archer, being able to push people away with your bow. And I think this works really well for a first person or third person game. In addition to your sword, your bow and magic, you now have the power of shouts. Different shouts have different properties. Some may burn your enemies, some may slow time, and some may even make you move that much faster in battle. When you take into account all the different strategies that you can come up with using shouts, archery, swords, and spells, you can really see that Skyrim combat is a notch above other games. So let's talk about how the game looks. If you have a decent to good computer, Skyrim is going to look totally boss on your computer. I'm not even kidding. The graphics are amazing. From the detail of weapons, to terrain, to your character, to armor, even to NPCs. All of these are simply amazing. The most dazzling effects, however, come from the spells and dragons you can encounter in Skyrim, just like Sean's abs. So besides the dragons, the skeletons, the witches and the trolls you meet in Skyrim, the most annoying would have to be the bugs. From flying mammoths to dragons that fly backwards, and NPCs who just won't get out of your way. All these things add to the frustration that is Skyrim. Leah, get the out of my way! Oh my god, it's so frustrating! Another really annoying fact I found with Skyrim was the scroll mechanics. Spells such as Blizzard when cast actually hurt you when you walk into it. I found this a bit detrimental to the experience in whole. Lastly, it's a bit of a pickle, but I think the whole idea of NPCs yielding and then getting up to fight again a bit annoying also. But overall, I don't think it actually affects the gameplay all that much. It just adds a bit of a challenge in that you have to remember to finish off those little bastards on the ground. Overall, Skyrim delivers, and sometimes it even exceeds expectations. However, you're always going to run into those pesky little bugs. But for the most part, they don't really affect gameplay. So here at PanHolt Productions, we give Skyrim a 9 out of 10 sexy Sean's. Anyways guys, subscribe, comment, rate, favorite, you know the drill. Do.